Hey guys, Martin here. Another episode of We're Still Here, out and about with my dog, Tilly. She's just down there. She's been a bit, I don't know if you saw her, she's been a bit difficult. She's lingering a lot today, which she does when it's very cold. I think she's just a bit of a wimp. I don't think her fur is thick enough for her to stay warm. But she still has to walk, she has to get some exercise, just like we all do. Come on, Tilly, come on. But yeah, I wanted to post an addendum to last week's We're Still Here, because I posted that live from Triad Anime Con. It wasn't that impressive, it wasn't that exciting. It was actually a pretty bad day, a bad weekend for me, I won't lie. It wasn't the most incredible of experiences. But having said that, it also wasn't the worst experience. I said in that video that, you know, I was dreading doing the third panel of the weekend, because it was the Naruto panel. Come on, Tilly, what are you doing? It was the Naruto panel, and I didn't have anything Naruto related prepared. And I'd already felt like I'd let people down with the first two panels that I did, which really, you know, that hurts. You know, whenever I see a crowd of people who are, you know, excited to see me, or just a crowd of people who are excited to be at a convention, period. Because I know what that means. I know how important that is when you're in an environment, you know, surrounded by friends and people who have similar interests to you, and you just want to be there and have a good time. And if I don't provide a good time, if I don't entertain people, then I've definitely not done my job and I've let people down, and that weighs on me. Like I said last week, and I felt like I'd let a lot of people down when I recorded that We're Still Here. Thank you, Tilly, you're actually walking with me for once. But I felt like I'd let everybody down, and then I posted that We're Still Here. In fact, I recorded it right before I left to go do my Naruto spoof panel. And I was convinced it was going to be the worst thing ever, and people were going to stand up and leave. And people did stand up and leave when I sat on the panel and I said, I don't have anything prepared. I don't have any video. I haven't worked on Naruto spoof in well over a year. So I don't really have anything Naruto related for you guys today. And yeah, a couple of people stood up and left, and I felt bad. But everybody else stayed, and it was a pretty packed room, and people wanted to give it a chance, which was incredible. It was a huge weight off my shoulders, for starters. But more than that, one of the reasons that panel turned out to be a positive thing was because I asked my good friends Laura Post, Erica Harlacher, and my best friend, also known as my wife, Marianne Miller, to join me on the panel. And it made the world of difference. And I think, you know, if I hadn't had them with me, I would have struggled, and I probably would have had, you know, the near breakdown that I was expecting. But I didn't. I had a good time. The crowd had a good time. We all had a good time. And that's what I wanted. That's what I needed from that night. And I feel bad that I didn't go back and record, you know, an addendum on the night after we'd done it. But it was really late. But I just wanted you to know that, you know, it wasn't the disaster that I was expecting, and it wasn't the disappointment, and it wasn't the letdown that I didn't want the crowd to have. It was good. And the reason it was good is because I didn't lose hope, and because I reached out to people. And I know it's only a convention panel, and it doesn't represent me or my life necessarily. But it's a learning experience regardless. And something I learned from that was, you know, you may expect the worst, but it might not happen. Who knows? It might be one of the best panels I've ever done. It wasn't one of the best panels I've ever done. It was good though. And the crowd was having a great time the whole time. So ultimately, I guess I just learned that, you know, I shouldn't have looked, you know, at it as a glass half empty situation, and I shouldn't have let my depression tell me and convince me, which it had if you watched last week's video. I shouldn't have let my depression convince me that there was no way that it was going to work out. Because there's always a way. There's always a way for these things to work out. No matter what, there's always hope. Even when it comes to dumb 18 plus panels at conventions. And when it comes to dogs who just don't want to go for a walk. Are you coming with, Tilly? Come on. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I feel like if I didn't share that with you guys would watch, you know, last week's, or you'd remember last week's and think that nothing good came of it. Something very good came of it. I talked to you guys about it, and I talked to myself about it, and I talked to my friends about it, and we worked it out, and we made something good of it. And the crowd left happy, and I left happy, and I'm happy right now. And that's great. I'm really excited about that. I'm not quite so excited about how slow this dog's being. It probably doesn't help that I've been recording the whole time and she's just taking advantage of that. Come on, Tilly, we're gonna keep moving. But yeah, I hope your week's been good. This weekend, I'm going to MTAC, which is the Middle Tennessee Anime Convention, which I've been to twice, and which is one of my favorite conventions. And I'm going with some friends again. So, rather than dread it, which is what I was going to do, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time. I'm going to make sure it's a good time. For me, for my friends, and for everybody there. So thank you for not giving up on me. And thank you to that crowd for not getting up and leaving in one huge drove, because that's what I expected. I genuinely expected that, and it didn't happen. So there. It was a good night. And it's going to be a lot more good nights. We're going to be all right. You take care of yourself.